If somebody was asking me how to avoid the temptation, what is the best thing that you can do? It's to get the alcohol out of your environment, get it out of your house. Don't have it near you if you can. The best thing to do is to hop on a plane, fly to a desert island, stay there until you feel like you can handle things again, and then come back. But most people are not going to be able to do that. It's the same thing as when you're going into a rehab. They put you into a false state, a false environment where there's no alcohol, you're getting looked after, and you stay there until whatever it is, a month, then you come back out, and there's problems with that. The issue is that you're never going to be able to get rid of all the alcohol out of your environment altogether because it's just everywhere, but you can get rid of it out of your house. Don't just hide it away. Don't put it into a corner and think to yourself, well, I'm going to leave it there just in case. Because it says a lot about your intentions. It says a lot about your commitment and how seriously you're taking this journey. And you have to take it seriously because nobody else is going to do that for you. I mean, just ask yourself, what are you keeping it for? If that's your intention to put it away somewhere, I'd say the same thing about all the paraphernalia, the glasses, anything that reminds you of alcohol. Get rid of it, throw it out. If your intention is to not stop, then you're putting it aside and you're hedging your bets. If your intention is to get that alcohol is a poison and you're going to get the alcohol out of your life for good, then start as you mean to go on. You have to, psychologically, you've got to start telling yourself the things that matter. Every time you hold on to something like this, I know that you've paid money out on it, and that's the way people look at it is, I've gone out and I've paid my whatever, $50 for all this alcohol. I'm not going to throw it out because I can't get the money back on it. But what you're doing is you're valuing the alcohol by its monetary value instead of looking at it from its value to you. As soon as you put a value on it, like I'm keeping that just in case, you're valuing your old life. You're valuing every time you have a drink, it's a vote for your old life. Every time you hold on to the alcohol when you're trying to stop, it's a vote for your failure. It's a vote that's going against your success. So it doesn't matter if you've paid good money for it. Real quick, if you want to stop drinking, our new 30-day Habit Accelerator starts this coming Monday. It's for people who are either on day one, want to stop drinking for the first time, or those who just want to have a bit of a refresh. We'll be doing the video program together. We'll be doing 4 group video sessions every week, unlimited access to me via WhatsApp one-on-one calls. It's an intensive thing, so I can only take on 15. There's only a few places left, so if you're interested in it, the link's in the description down below. Take care, back to the video. I'd also go as far as to say, avoid the alcohol outside of your house as much as possible. Avoid the pubs, avoid the supermarkets, avoid the liquor stores, avoid the billboards, avoid as much as possible. It's virtually impossible to do that because alcohol is everywhere, but do your best. Now, there's an opposite side of this. I think outside of your house, when you see alcohol and it's not directly involved with you, it's not something that you didn't buy this alcohol in order to consume it. It's there in society as part of the brainwashing, as part of the marketing. And what that does is the more that you are exposed to this kind of stuff, the easier it will be in the long term. It's more difficult in the short term because you haven't to see it and it's reminding you. But in the long term, it makes it easier because it's just extinction. The more that you're exposed to it, the more iterations you go through, the easier it will be in the long term. And don't give it away either, right? We're trying to get away from this idea that alcohol has got any benefits at all, that it has given us any benefits at all, regardless of what way you look at your own past. We're trying to put into our own minds now that this is a poison, a toxin, that our continued consumption of this is going to give us more of the same. So we're trying to get to that idea that this is a poison. We want to get rid of it out of our lives. Why would you then give that to your friends? It's just a double standard. And what it does to you psychologically, it says, well, yeah, there's something in that, right? Even though I'm not having it myself, I'm going to give it to my family as a reward. Even though I can't have this reward, I'm giving it to my family. Do you see what I mean about the value, about the psychological value that you're putting onto it? So think about it from another point of view. Let's say you have what you would have called your premium, high-end, high-shelf bottle of whiskey or your high-shelf bottle of wine. And for me, it was always, cheap wine and cheap beer. Maybe the Guinness was the most that I used to spend my money on. But let's say I had 6 cans of Guinness in the fridge. every time I open that fridge, I've got to make that decision over and over again, right? It's there in front of me. It's a temptation. Even if I don't open the fridge, let's say I've got it in a cupboard somewhere, I know psychologically that it's there. So every time I get a craving, my mind, a part of my mind, is going off and visiting that little cubby hole in the back of the shed, in the back of the garage, and thinking, there's 6 cans of Guinness in there. So it's like a draw on your mind. It's like a psychological kind of a little mind fuck that you're putting in there yourself. Instead of getting rid of the stuff, let's say you want to try and lose weight. The best way of losing weight is by fasting, doing the intermittent fasting, rather than saying, I'm going to diet. Every time you try and diet, you're having to make this decision all over again. Make a decision today. What am I going to eat? When am I going to eat? How much am I going to eat? What's the calories? What type of foods am I going to eat? Is it going to be protein? How much protein? How much carbohydrates? Am I going to eat carbohydrates? So on and so on and so on. But if you do something like intermittent fasting, you just say to yourself, well, I'm only going to eat between this time frame. So I'm going to go to bed at whatever it is, 9 o'clock at night. I'm not going to eat until the following day at 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock. I'm going to eat until 4 or 5 o'clock. Not all the way through, but that's my eating window. And then I'm going to stop. So it's like you're cutting off things. It's why it's so much easier to deal with this as a habit, because you go through this once, you make the decision at the beginning. You're going to have to make other decisions as you're going down through the journey. Refuse to do things. Do I want to go here or do I want to go there? I know there's going to be alcohol there. I know this person's going to be there. They're decisions that you have to make down the road. But in the beginning, you make one decision. I'm not going to drink alcohol again. That's it. I'm not going to think about it in terms of, my whole life. I'm just going to think about it as, I'm not going to drink alcohol today or tomorrow. I'm going to get to a month. I'm going to get to 2 months, 3 months, so on and so forth. Take it in small chunks. But what you're doing is, by taking the alcohol out of your life as much as possible, your own personal life, is you're taking that decision out of your mind. You've made that decision in the beginning. You get rid of all the alcohol, and that's it. You just go from there. I know it's difficult sometimes. Esther she continued to drink after I'd stopped, so there was no chance I was getting rid of all the alcohol, but she put it away, and it was her alcohol. So you're able to parse these things and say, well, that's not my drink, right? That's her drink. I never used to drink that. So it was just one of those things that were, if you're not able to get rid of the alcohol, you put it into another bucket and you say, well, this is her drink. Be aware that the alcohol is everywhere. If you're stopping taking heroin or cocaine or any of those other drugs, it's quite easy to do it, because from that perspective, you haven't got the heroin or the cocaine in your face, because you avoid those people, you avoid those situations, right? With alcohol, it's just you can't step outside your door, you can't turn on your TV, the radio, without hearing about either alcohol advertisements or people talking about alcohol or the hangovers or whatever it is that they're talking about. So it's there in your face all the time, but you will get used to that. But it becomes like background noise after a while, because it's just there. It's constantly in your life. And the more you take that into account, the more you just ignore the things as they're happening to you, the more you just go and push the billboard aside, push the alcohol advertisement aside, and just accept it as part and parcel of what is going to happen in your life, the easier it will get. So control what you control in the beginning. Get rid of the alcohol out of your house, right? Out of your environment. And then control everything else with your mind and just ignore it. That's the best bit of advice I can give you about this. Take care of yourself, and I'll speak to you in the next one. All right, onwards and upwards. Bye now.